20 minutes later. One hour later. $12 midnight. 2 hours later.
Why is this week's preview so hard? Huh? Are you serious? A Cardinal? How did you get in here, little guy? Ah, you little shit!
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
What was that? Ah! No. Where did all these Cardinals come from? Ah! Ah! Oh, it was just a dream. Ah! What's going on, Canes fans? It's the final push. Literally the last game at Hard Rock Stadium. Only 2 games remain in the regular season for the Miami Hurricanes. And I know we're not where we wanted to be, sitting at 6-4 right now. But I'm still trying to make the best of it. Best case scenario for the Canes is 9-4, and that's assuming we win our bowl game. But right now, there's a pretty darn good football team standing in the way. Louisville. Now, before we dive into this preview video, I would like to remind you that we are live this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for the regularly scheduled night before call-in stream with the $300 score prediction contest. Nobody has won it yet so far this season, so literally all you need to do is pop in on Friday starting at 9 o'clock, call the number that's on the screen, predict the right score for the game, and you win $300. And yes, it has been won before, but I'm wanting to remind you guys of this because the season is coming to a close. So there's only a few more opportunities to win the cash. So you do not want to miss the stream this Friday night. So let's talk about it. What's the deal with this Louisville Cardinals team? Because I thought that they just hired a new head coach this season and pressed the reset button. And you're telling me that even after doing that they're currently number 9 in the country with only 1 loss and possibly competing for the ACC championship? Unfortunately, yes, and yes. Apparently, their new head coach, Jeff Brom, is an absolute miracle worker. I swear I think he should be investigated because I think that he's some type of wizard. But all joking aside, the reality is the Cardinals struck gold in the transfer portal during the offseason. Their most productive players are primarily transfer portal guys, and they have a veteran quarterback in Jack Plummer who's thrown for 2,402 yards and 16 touchdowns so far this season. And the dude is a giant. He's 6'5" and loves to take deep shots off of play action. At the end of the day, though, this team is all about their run game and defense. Their defense is allowing opponents to convert only 28% of third downs, and they have 2 very productive running backs, one of which has 11 touchdowns so far this season, and the other is, you guessed it, a transfer from Wisconsin, and he has 7 touchdowns so far this season. They have a pretty good wide receiver, Jamari Thrash, who, you guessed it, is also another transfer portal player, and possibly even a top 2 center in the ACC, who is, oh my goodness, I can't believe it, a transfer. So, You're starting to see the theme here, right? Louisville's only loss so far this season is to Pitt, 38-21, and that's definitely an odd one because the Panthers are sitting at 2-8 so far this season, but a scoreless third quarter really screwed the Cardinals in that matchup. But here's the deal. We already talked about the fact that Louisville's bread and butter is their run game. I mean, they're averaging 180 rushing yards per game. That's really freaking good. But on the flip side, one of Miami's strong suits here is stopping the run. They're only allowing an average of 86 rushing yards per game. So the question here is, will this change Louisville's game plan and how will it affect their offense on Saturday? And of course, one of the big discussion topics going into this one, and I can't film a Miami Hurricanes video without at least bringing it up, the quarterback situation. Emery is out for the season with the compound fracture in his left arm, which leaves Tyler Van Dyke and Ja'Carri Brown. And Mario Cristobal has already come out early on in the week and declared Tyler Van Dyke the starter for this game, at least at this point in time. But let's take a quick look at the history between these two teams. Miami and Louisville have faced off 15 times in total, with Miami leading the series 11-3. The most recent matchup was back in 2020, and Miami won that game 47-34. Next up, I'll show you some average stats so far this season for both of these squads. Coming into this matchup, Louisville is averaging 33 points per game and Miami 31. Points allowed against them per game, Louisville 17, Miami 21. Average yards gained per game, Louisville 439, Miami 428. And yards allowed against them per game, Louisville 300 and Miami 313. And I'm sure right out of the gate, the first thing you notice, these two teams look very similar on paper if you remove the wins and losses. Just talking about these numbers you see on your screen. I'm also going to give you 3 keys to a victory in this one for both teams, but we're going to kick it off with the Miami Hurricanes. Coming in at number 1, keep Louisville under 100 rushing yards. Only 2 teams have done that so far this season, and one of them beat the Cardinals and the other, NC State, only lost by 3. I cannot stress this one enough. Number 2, Miami must have 1 or less interceptions in this game to have a shot. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Tyler has given me no reason to believe that he won't throw multiple picks, so he's going to have to show me in this one. And lastly, I really didn't want to do this to Miami, but for the first time this season, pray. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but we need all the help that we can get. And yes, I'm serious. And now 3 keys to a victory for Louisville. And coming in at number 1, take control of your own destiny and play like winning this is your only way into the ACC championship. Play with a sense of urgency is what I'm trying to say here. You don't want to leave it up to UNC needing to lose a game for you to get into the conference championship game. Win this one, you're in. Number 2, if possible, have your best corner, Quincy Riley, on our wide receiver, Jacoby George. Jacoby is becoming a real threat in the passing game, and your corner Riley has been targeted 42 times this season and only allowed 14 receptions. That could be a fun battle to watch. And lastly, this might sound silly, but Louisville must play like they're playing at home. I say this because their overall numbers are far worse when playing away. I'm talking quite a bit worse. And to give you a few examples, they're averaging 228 rushing yards at home, 127 away. They've turned the ball over 4 times in 6 home games, but 8 times in only 4 road games. Averaging 39 points at home, 24 points away. And the list goes on and on. You get my point. All right. You know what? It's time. My score prediction for this game. And I'm currently sitting at 7-3 with my game predictions. So we're doing pretty good overall this season. But before I give you guys the magic numbers, we always like to take a look at the ESPN matchup predictor, which has Miami's win percentage chance coming into this one at 53.9% and Louisville at 46.1%. So they actually have Louisville as slight underdogs coming into this game at Hard Rock. Now, at the time of filming this video, FanDuel has Louisville as a 1.5-point favorite, with the over-under coming in at right around 46.5 points. So, as you can see, just like a lot of fans, many of these places don't really know who to pick for this game. This is a very confusing matchup. And I am in the same boat, unfortunately. Now, I'd love to go ahead and give my score prediction, but I've invested too much money into the team of doctor scientists that I hired to analyze my score predictions this season. So we are going to get a quick check-in with them before we move on. Oops, college football family. I am finally back from the dump. Doak Campbell Stadium. And I noticed in the comment section there have been a lot of people asking if I, Dr. Pepper, am single. And I would like to say that... What are you doing here? Coop fired you weeks ago. I'm back from the loony bin. What? This is unbelievable. They prefer me over you. All right. Yeah, I'm going to tell them before you can. I don't approve. I don't approve the score prediction. It's approved. I don't approve. You know what? I really need some feedback from you, the viewer. Should I keep these doctor scientist guys next year in 2024? Because I'm really starting to question where I'm putting my money. You know, you guys let me know. I mean, they've been right sometimes, they've been wrong sometimes. And, you know, as you can see, we broke out the 2023 Miami Hurricanes score prediction board. And I have been pretty close overall this season in most games. Record of 7-3. That's kind of the best we've ever done. And what I'll do, actually, as a matter of fact, let me slide to the side for a second. Let the camera put it in focus. You can screenshot it. Take a look at it, right? Tell me what you think. We did get the Miami versus Florida State prediction right. Unfortunately, because, of course, I don't want to be right when I'm predicting a Miami Hurricanes loss. But here we go. Fandom and emotions set to the side for this one. Miami versus Louisville. I'm giving the Miami Hurricanes $17, and the Louisville Cardinals $24. Let's go ahead and put the L on it, make it officially official here. You can tell that I didn't try to pre-work out the placement of everything, so this is super awkward, quite fitting for a Coach Coop video, right? Miami losing 17-24. I'm just going to be blunt and honest here right quick, and it pains me to say this. I do not want to have to say this. If we're talking Tyler Van Dyke versus Jack Plummer, I'm probably trusting Plummer. Tyler Van Dyke has not shown me anything to believe that he can all of a sudden turn it around and have a good game on Saturday and compete with a team that's probably going to be playing in the ACC championship game. Heck, might even win it if it's them versus Florida State. I don't know, really. And the thing is both teams have good defenses, and I do think that Miami will limit Louisville's run game. But I just can't trust Miami's offense. And we also have to factor in the fact that this is the first noon game for Miami. We've not played a game at 12 o'clock this entire season. So now all of a sudden that's kind of another curveball. It's a very different start time. That's much earlier. So I just can't trust this Miami team to get a win when they desperately need one. I mean, bro, this would be dropping 3 games in a row. And this one is winnable. That's the thing. And I know, Coop, you're trying to plug in something so you can backpedal. I've never backpedaled. I always stick by my official score prediction. But Louisville is beatable. And I really think if we can keep them under 100 rushing yards, which is a big ask, but it's been done. We can keep them under 100 rushing yards, and if Tyler Van Dyke can throw 1 interception or less, we can win the game. Like, Miami can win this game, and it would be nice to win the final game at Hard Rock Stadium, wouldn't it? It's not going to change everything. It's not going to, make everything okay now for the 2023 season, but it'd be nice. We've taken 2 L's in a row, and Miami has a habit. I want to close with saying this. In the past, there have been several times where Miami has beaten one of the teams that's in the ACC championship game. Go back and look at it. Remember all those times when we said, that should have been us. We beat one of those teams that's in that conference championship game, but we didn't put ourselves in the driver's seat. We didn't control our own destiny when it was laid out right there before us. So maybe this is a chance here where we had a shot at Florida State. We came up just short by 7. We have another shot at a team that will probably also be in it. Can we take them down? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. A couple more games, man. I'm trying my best to enjoy it. I apologize that this one went up later than usual, but I was lacking a little bit of creativity and motivation this week. And it goes beyond football. It's not just that. I've had some personal things and whatnot. But, football does play a part. Bro, we've dropped 2 in a row. There's a lot of negative things going on with the program right now. But I'm still overall pretty optimistic about the future, and I would love to finish strong. Remember, though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family. But at the end of the day, I got to say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out. I'll see y'all in the next one.